Armed Outwork.
The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning, Andy Brownell, along with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, our usual Saturday morning visit. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
I enjoy a little warmer weather than we had a week ago, so that always puts me in a much better mood.
I have to tell you something really funny. So last week I was gone for a 4-day, well, I'm using this term very loosely, but RE/MAX meeting. It's 25 RE/MAX women from across the country, all in the top 1%, who get together to share ideas. I mean, we really did do a lot of masterminding, you know. It was supposed to be in the pool, but only one day we were in the pool because it was so cold. It was in Cancun, and the temperatures at night were in the 50s.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And in the daytime, well, the first day we got there, we got off the shuttle bus and we're like, it's freezing. And it was 70 degrees. And I was outside yesterday and the sun was beating down and it was probably like 35. And I'm like, God, it's so beautiful. I was running around without a coat on. And right. I said, I guess it's really all relative, because in Mexico, 70 degrees was not what I anticipated or expected. And after the deep cold that we've had, 35 felt amazing, right? So it's all in what we expect. It's all around our expectations, I think.
So if you're down in Mexico along the Gulf there and it's 70, are the locals wearing coats at that point?
Oh, they were all wearing winter coats, North Face. Yeah, all in the hotel, because it's an open air hotel. And so they're sitting in the lobby all with winter coats zipped up to the top. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so funny.
It is funny. That's very, very funny.
And this has nothing to do with real estate, but I just have to tell you, I've not seen this before. I've been to Cancun before. I've been to Mexico many, many times. They had these animals running around, and they're called Coati, Coati. It's a short name for something longer. It looks like a hybrid mix of a possum, anteater, a raccoon. I mean, it's got a long nose, it's got a long striped tail, and it's kind of big. I mean, it's furry, but it looks like the size of Jenna's dog. I mean, it's big, and they're running everywhere you look. Like I told you, it's an open air hotel. Well, it was cold for those little critters. So they were inside, like they would come in through the front where it's just open air, and then they would run across the lobby and then go down this big, beautiful staircase. At one point, I saw 3 of them running down the staircase. I was freaking out. Now, we sat outside to eat one day, and one of them doggone things jumped right on the table. I was like, oh my God. It was crazy. I've not ever seen that before. So I'm not going back to that resort anytime soon.
That is.
Or ever.
Were they, I suppose they were totally harmless, other than... They're
harmless, but they like food, right?
Well, sure.
And they eat fruit. So I think they're, scavenging around hoping to find food, and they eat small, like probably rodents or something. They eat small animals, berries, fruit. Bottom line is, I don't want them on my table or anywhere near me.
Yeah, no.
But you're considered in the Yucatan there, where we were, and they're protected, so they couldn't do a doggone thing about it. So we had little critters running around.
It's funny you mentioned the weather down there in Mexico. I remember arriving in Cancun. This was years ago, and we had left in early September, and we were complaining that when we left Minnesota, it was 28 degrees. Because we left in the morning.
Yeah.
And we got down there, and I talked to some guy at the airport, and they go, where we came from, it was only 28 degrees. And he goes, well, that's not bad, 28 degrees. I go, no, Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They're like, it's 22. I'm like, it's 22 nothing here, buddy. But, yeah. Anyway, it's fun because I was with agents from all over the country. It was fun to talk about weather and how we all, like the girls one was there from Hawaii, one was there from California, one from Scottsdale. They all thought it was freezing. And then there were some of us from Michigan, Minnesota, Illinois, and we're all like, yeah, freezing's a stretch, guys. I mean, like, this isn't freezing. But we were talking about how the different seasons and temperatures affect our markets. And they were saying, yeah, if it were this cold at home, we wouldn't be selling any houses. And I'm like, it's 70 degrees. Are you kidding me right now? And so then yesterday I was out showing houses, and I had gotten home Thursday night. So I was out showing houses, and it was so sunny and beautiful. I had no coat on, right? So I did a little video of them, and I showed them the temperature, and it was like 34, and the sun was bright. And I'm like, I am literally out showing houses without a coat on, and it is gorgeous outside. And they're like, oh my gosh, everything would be shut down here. So it's just all relative. It's all relative.
And I would think in like a place like Arizona, where 120 in the summer, I would think that 70 would feel pretty darn good.
Wouldn't you think it would feel pretty darn good? Yeah. Well, it was mostly the girls from like Maryland and DC, where they were having these ice storms and these cold weathers, and they have nothing to do. So they didn't even know if they were going to get to Cancun, because they didn't know if their flights were going to be canceled. I mean, it was a hot mess. And I'm like, this is nothing. It was. This is, for us, it's like, spend 20 minutes, get the plane de-iced, and off you go.
They had to cancel a NASCAR race last weekend because the racetrack got hit by 11 inches of snow.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that's ever happened before. All right.
Well, we're in the spring market now. And
that's what I was going to ask you. Is it? It's
busy. And I am just so grateful. Like these girls wanted that trip to be in March. I'm like, you guys, there's no way. I can go in January or the very, very early February. And then after that, I'm done. I'm home. Like then it's nothing but no days off, right? And boy, I came home and I was like, all day yesterday, catching up with everything. And I have people, I have boots on the ground. So while I'm gone, there are people home taking care of stuff. But listing appointments and listings coming on the market. And I usually tell people we might as well wait till middle of February, end of February. But everybody's like, no, it's nice. Let's get it going. I'm like, okay. So yeah, we're really busy and it's good.
We're in full swing. Okay. Well, Robin, why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we can talk about what is happening in the local real estate market here in southeastern Minnesota, the Rochester area. Robin Gwaltney Group-RE Max Results. And this is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9.
Ready to roll.
To Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Max Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Andy Brownell with Robin Gwaltney Group-RE Max Results, and I understand you have the latest market data.
I do. Well, pretty recent. Thursday, February 5th. So pretty recent.
Yeah.
So currently 137 sales pending in the Rochester market, leaving 272 listings still actively for sale. So when you divide that 137 by the total of 409, that means we are at a pending ratio of about 33.5%.
Okay. It's been in that range for quite a while now.
Yeah, so people who listen to the show regularly know what that means. But for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time or don't recall, I will remind you that the pending ratio indicates the supply and demand of the market. So specifically, if it's a high ratio, that means that listings are in demand and quickly going under contract. But on the other side, if it's a low ratio, that just means there's not as many buyers out there as there is existing supply.
Okay.
So we have a mildly active, 50-50 would be, very balanced, just the right amount of buyers for sellers. And we're at 33.5%, but that's because we're coming out of January.
That's
that number is going to, it's going to start to change.
Well, that number reflects the coldest several weeks we've had all winter.
Correct. And if you take a closer look, I can tell you that the $300,000 to $400,000 price range has the most pending contracts, and it also has a relatively high inventory of properties for sale, with 70 of the active 272 falling in between 300 and 400. So right now, the median list price is, if we look at all properties that are currently active, all 272, the median list price is $421,950. Okay. So a total of 753 contracts have closed in the last 6 months. And of those that closed, the median sale price was $340,000. So again, the 300 to 400 price range contains the highest number of sold listings as well.
Yeah, and that just tells me the houses in the lower ranges compared to the higher ranges are moving quick.
Yeah, it's definitely the sweet spot. That hasn't changed for quite some time now. All right, so let's look at days on the market. All right, it's a useful tool because it can help us determine whether or not, it's a buyer's market indicated by low days on market or high days on market, or seller's market by low days on market. So right now, of the active listings that we have for sale, the median time has been 70 days. But again, to your point, Andy, if you go back 70 days, that takes you the month of January and the month of December. And back to right before Thanksgiving. So the holidays and then the dead of winter.
Sure.
Recent history of sales show me that the median sold price for the last 30 days, so this is, tighter snapshot, was $325 with days on market of 30 days.
Yeah.
So more, that sounds more like it.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, that whole holiday period, it reflects that data completely.
Right. And so everything, again, it's sort of like the temperature in Mexico versus the temperature in Minnesota, right? It's all relative. All right. What else looks good? So we have, if I look at all price ranges, I take it all into consideration, we have an absorption rate of 2.2 months based on the last 6 months of sales.
So it's still pretty short.
Yeah, it definitely is. So that just means if nothing else were to come on the market in the next 2.2 or basically 9 weeks, we'd be out of houses to sell. Okay. But there's going to be a lot of houses coming on. I personally have 25 listings in the making. 25.
Oh my gosh, really?
Personally. And I think that the rest of the team combined probably has another 10 to 15. So that's just Gwaltney Group alone. And there's a lot of other agents out there. So there's going to be a lot of fresh listings coming up.
So it's pretty obvious that a lot of folks waited for the spring market.
And it's typically what we advise, because we're going to see a pickup in traffic and people are going to wait for, these days in the 30s and eking into the 40s. And, even forget about the temperature, the daylight, the longer days, so they can get off work and go look at houses and see them in the daylight. I mean, that's a huge plus.
Yeah, we actually have a little bit of evening now.
We do, and I love it. You're
not alone.
Yeah, no kidding. So the market overall, I'd say, like you have heard me say, it's a doggone good time to buy real estate or sell real estate, especially since we're talking about the Rochester area market, especially in our market.
So looking back at the data, for the last month or two, during the winter months, I imagine that translated into, buyers perhaps being able to negotiate a little bit.
Exactly. You brought something to my mind. Let me see if I can find an article that I had earmarked. Okay. Nearly 2/3 of home buyers scored a discount in 2025. So a Redfin report found to share that buyers were paying less than the list price. The amount of buyers that were paying less than list price was up in 2025. And the average discounts for those below ask homes was 7%. So, I've always said if you can buy a house between 97 and 100%, that's what you should expect. They're talking 93%. In our market, now keep in mind, this is nationally.
Right.
Okay. In our market, if you got a house for 93% of the asking price, there's one reason and one reason alone, and that's because it was initially overpriced.
Sure. We've talked about that a lot. Pricing the home correctly is the key to the whole thing.
It is the key to the whole thing, because then you're going to sell them quickly and you're going to get what you're asking and maybe even above, which is also, pretty desirable.
Are we still running into folks waiting for that magical day when rock bottom interest rates return?
Oh my gosh. Jeez, Andy. So interest rates right now are hovering right around 6%. I actually had a client last week lock in at 5.85 on a 30-year fixed. I thought these are great rates. And then and I know why you're asking me this, because I have a feeling you read the same article that I read, and it was titled, "What's a good mortgage rate according to buyers?" Okay, so experts are predicting that mortgage rates are going to hover right around 6% all year, possibly by the end of the year, mid to high fives. Ask me or any other seasoned realtor what they think of that rate, and we're going to say that is fabulous.
Right.
But unfortunately, there was a survey taken, and 37% of the survey respondents identified a good interest rate as an interest rate below 4%.
That's like me saying a good price for gasoline is $1.50.
Exactly. It's like, come on, now you're not being realistic. Yes, would I agree with them that under 4% would be a good interest rate? It would be a dream come true. Have we experienced that? Yes. Why? Because we were having a worldwide pandemic.
We don't want to do that again.
We do not want to do that again. So no, if you're waiting for the interest rates to go down to 4%, I hope you love your rental.
All right. That's a great way to put it, Robin. We have to take another break. We'll be back in a moment with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results here at Newstalk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Saturday morning with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results here at News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Okay, you were gone for a few days. Do you have any listings that we can talk about, Robin?
Well, geez, I was super excited to tell you about my beautiful 2-story at 968 Southern View Lane Southwest. 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, sitting on a half an acre. The house has 3,600 square feet. The garage has 1,200 more square feet with 3 stalls at $6,099. It literally went on the market, I want to say Thursday, sold on Friday.
Oh, so, really?
in multiple offers, guys. So again, price them right and get them, market them well. And we had beautiful pictures and did a drone because it had a really nice lot, and boom, bang, sold. So there you go. There's one that you could have had if you would have been quicker. No, I'm teasing.
Things are moving fast in that case.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And I have this is such a fun condo. It is at 1702 North Lake Shore Drive in Lake City. So
right.
It used to be called Waterman's Restaurant right there on the water.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I'm very
And now
familiar.
It's Kelly's. Yeah. So there are some condos right above the restaurant. So if you're sitting on the deck out on the, I guess I would call it the front. I mean, it's not the driveway parking lot side, but the lake side. If you're sitting on the deck on the lake, these condos are directly above it. So they have this view that is just amazing. And this condo is completely redone and it's absolutely beautiful. And it's got 2 beds, but the top bedroom is the top floor of the condo because it's a 2-level condo. And so the top floor, so it's a huge big bedroom with like a little sitting area, well, a big sitting area and a private bath, a big walk-in closet. But then on the main floor, there's another bedroom and bathroom. So it's 2 beds, 2 baths. It has 1,234 square feet, and it literally has $1 million view. And it is $437,000. So look at that. With $1 million view, it's less than half price.
And plus, you've got a great restaurant right downstairs.
Yeah. So you can go right downstairs to eat, or if there's music, and sit out on the deck with your friends. I don't know. It's awesome. So if you're looking for a really beautiful lake property where you do not have to look across the road or across the railroad tracks, but you're just right there on the water, this is a great place.
That view is, you're right, that view is fantastic there with that, because it kind of bends.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
And then I have 1477 Laurel Court Southeast. This one is a multi-level, and it has 3 beds, 3 baths, 4-car garage, and it was built in 1990. It sits on 3 acres. The house is just under 2,600 square feet, and it is $649,900, 3-level split.
Okay.
All right, or 3-level, multi-level, I guess.
Sure.
I've got 2114 Valley High Drive Northwest. And that is obviously one of the Valhalla condos, and it's $125,000. Those are a nice, affordable place to live. And the other plus side is those can be rented. So a lot of those are owned by investors. So it's cheap investment property. Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking for a person starting out, that'd be ideal.
Well, yeah, I actually sold one not too long ago to a young gal, very young gal. And she's like, well, I got a job at Mayo and I could either pay rent or I could buy this. And I feel like it's a smarter move. And I'm like, well, good for you.
It is.
I had to agree. I said, you're a smart young lady. So then I still have 2 condos downtown. And I just am afraid that people are worried about those condos because, they were in the news for the foundation issue, which has been remedied. Okay. Everything is safe. They've got the state inspection has been passed. They are, what do I want to say? They qualify for loans.
Everything is the big one right there.
Yeah, everything is good. And I have 2 of those, and they're nice. They're 2 beds, 2 baths, about 1,200 square feet for $245,000. So
they have fantastic windows in that place.
Oh my gosh. And one of them I have one with the east view, so looking over to the downtown, and one with the west view, so just looking up towards St. Mary's with all the beautiful sunset. So yeah, both of them super nice. And I think that people, well, I honestly believe that when the residents come, that if they're still available, they will sell because they're just so convenient.
The location is perfect.
So convenient. And what do we always say? Location, location, location.
Okay. I had a friend who lived in that building. It's been a few years, but oh my gosh, when you could see the storms rolling in from the west.
Oh, yeah.
It was incredible.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. But yeah, you feel pretty secure because you're in that solid stone building.
Oh, yeah. No, it wasn't a thing to be concerned about. It was actually just beautiful to, I guess I like watching weather. Maybe that's the deal.
There you go. Okay, do I have a few more minutes or not?
Maybe a minute or two, yeah.
Okay. I have 1184 Fox Hill Court, Southwest, and this one is 3,800 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. So it's as big as a house, but it's a patio home, right? It does have a lower level walkout. It is built in 2019, still feels and looks brand new. It's been very, very well maintained. And this one is $790,000. And there are the same floor plan basically out in the preserve selling for over $1 million. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, it's very, very nice and very well built. I've got a Pill Hill Beauty at 724 4th Street Southwest. That one is 7 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms and just under 7,000 square feet for $1,670,000. So,
piece of history right there.
yes, there is. Oh, yeah, it's got all the books with it in, the history of it all. So, yeah, very cool.
Wow.
I suppose that probably wraps it up for us.
Okay.
All right.
Well, how do we get a hold of you, Robin?
Absolutely. If you want to call me, if you have any questions about anything I talked about, in this show particularly, or anything to do with real estate at all, honestly, feel free to call my cell phone anytime. I promise if I'm not talking to somebody else, I will take your call. And that phone number is 507-259-4926.
All right, Robin. You have a great rest of the weekend, and I guess we'll chat again next Saturday.
Thank you. We're going off to our little grandbaby's first birthday party.
Oh, way too fun.
I'm so excited. All right. Talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.